Man, if I were that probe, I'd be honored to be in the same production queue as a Colossus. And mana, he has 62 probes, so but he does need to saturate this mineral line, and it just like we have another bit of a lull. The 6 now been taken down, lifting out the command center from the main Strelok-Gs, and he's putting the Strelok-Gs. I'm talking like Yoda. Moving these command center from the main Strelok-Gs. I have to take another sip of tea while there's another bit of a lull, but there's gonna be. But I wouldn't be surprised if an exciting push does come soon. I don't know who's gonna win. Gosh, this is just so back and forth. Gosh, this is an intense macro game, and wow, I just don't know. I really don't know who's gonna win. I think that mana, if Strelok can hold and just hold manas, if Strelok can just hold. Oh my God! There's a Warp Prism. Thank you, Strelok. It's making Warp Prism, but Strelok sees it because his command center intercepts it. We do have High Templar in the Warp Prism. We do have High Templar. How many SCVs will come down? 1. Oh, let's look at the High Templar. How many SCVs did it get? Exactly 1. Oh, but I don't know about the other one. Oh, but look at their so low health. I feel like I don't know if that could have been did not work. That did not work the way he wanted it to, and it looks like that Warp Prism did. Oh, Templar, trying to get to the top. Where are you, Warp Prism? I don't know if the whole Warp Prism is alive anymore. If we go to the Units tab, no, there are no Warp Prisms on there. So that was a nice try. And I think that mana, Strelok he kind of knew what was happening because his command center did intercept that Warp Prism. And Vikings on the map. Vikings so good at getting Vikings are so good at getting Warp Prisms. Vikings are good against Warp Prisms, as we all know. Boom! And what's going on now? Marine is chilling out there. We do have another push by Strelok, but if mana is the beast that I know he is, he's going to be able to hold this off. What do you think? Vikings now on play, though. Vikings weren't in the battle last time, and maybe Strelok has actually learned his lesson this time. Mana running away. He wants to get a good arc. This is a very good arc right here for mana. He wants to engage in this arc, moving in with 1 High Templar, but it does get EMP'd, and a storm goes down anyway. And Colossus getting the first shot. Lots of Stalkers coming into play. Vikings, though, now able to take some shots out of the Colossus. 1 Colossus almost goes down. All the shields are gone for the Colossus, but put down a storm, kill these Vikings, and 1 Colossus goes down. And the Vikings are still alive, but lots of Templar. They need to. Oh gosh, with the Archon being shot down by the tanks. And don't move in here, mana. Don't move in here, mana. There are lots of tanks that are sieged. Don't move in. You're losing your Colossus. You're losing your whole army. This is going to be GG right now. I don't see how mana could possibly come back from those losses. It looks like Strelok has outplayed mana in both these games so far. There will be a game 3, and I just don't know. I think that either Mana's is not quite on his game, or Strelok's style is just kind of outplaying Mana's style. It's kind of hard to say who is the better player. You know, this is just 2 games, but Strelok is playing extremely well, and wow, good job for both players. These games, they just kept me on the edge of my seat. This Colossus is going to stay alive for now, but I don't think there's anything that Mana can do. He's going to lose this expansion and this expansion. Meanwhile, if you look at his other bases, the reason why I say he's lost is because his other 3 bases are mined out, and he needs these 2 expansions to stay alive. He absolutely needs them. So right now, if we go to the army tab, it's 80 versus 173. He's down by half army. And if we go to the income tab, it looks like Strelok is getting twice the income as well, but the same amount of gas. I'm just looking on the map, and it looks like Strelok has some reinforcements ready too. So Mana might be able to take care of these units here, but he won't be able to get up the space anytime soon. The 5th is allowed to live for now, and Strelok would be wise maybe to get this expansion down. He did have a Warp Prism one time anyway. But I think that because the income tab looks 63 harvesters versus 40, 3,000 income versus 700. Let's go into the production tab. We do have weapons level 3 on the way, and 4 siege tanks being queued. However, 1 Colossus is good, but I actually don't really see any Vikings right now. Let's go into the units tab, and it looks like we don't have any Vikings right now. So these Colossus, 4 Vikings. There are 4 Vikings. So one thing about Mana is that he has a very heavy zealot army, I've noticed, and since you have a lot of zealots, although they're very good against Marine Marauder when they, in their charge, that means that your stalker count is going to be lower. So especially, High Templars take up gateway units. But here we have an encounter. Look like 4 Marauders are going to stim and get taken out, but as it's just bait. It was just bait, but Mana is not taking the bait. He knows that there are siege tanks up here. Anyway, as I was saying, one ghost picking something off, and it looks like the scan going down, seeing where the army position is. Man, I was saying that yeah, if you're building lots of Templar and Zealots, you won't have as many Stalkers, because both of those, Templars and Zealots, are gateway units, and Stalkers are really what keep traditionally Stalkers are pretty much what keep Colossus alive against Vikings, especially Stalkers in high numbers. Oh, one MPA going off, taking out the shields of these Stalkers, and no, oh, this hurts, because I know this is not going to go well for Man. He just doesn't have enough units. He does have a few Storm, but it's easy for Strelok to just run away and then run back in and take out these Templars. And I'm just kind of, my heart is bleeding right now for Mana, but Strelok doing so well. And he has so many siege tanks. There's no way Mana can bust this. And Strelok just doing a very methodical push here, moving just an inch forward, trying to bait Mana in, and Mana just get one Storm off, but Mana has gotten up this base again, but it's not being mined by any probes. If we go to the production tab, we do have ground weapons level 3, so Strelok is going to be a little bit more careful this time than last push. Last push he did lose his entire army. And now he's just going to slowly move in. Instead of last time, he just kind of moved down there and then lost his army. Although it did successfully kill off that expansion. So, Strelok has just been up pretty much this whole game. It's been a downhill battle for Mana, but Mana is just managing to hang in there so well, picking off some tanks. Those tanks were actually out of position. Very good game. Which is good for Strelok, but there's just way too many tanks. Let's look at the tank count. 13 tanks! Yeah, that's just too many. And this has been a good game. Thanks for hanging in there, all of you. And I'll be posting a Game 3 probably tomorrow. So, Game 3 will be on the way between Strelok and Mouz Mana. And leave your comments. Do you prefer girls or Marauders? I don't know. I think I prefer a girl. Not girls. I don't need multiple girls. I only need one. But I do need Marauders. That's the difference. See, if I had Marauders, I'd be doing really well. If I had girls, I think I'd be kind of, I'd be bastarding lots of children. So I think that I'll stick with a girl and lots of Marauders. So we'll just keep it at that. So, but who's going to tell Strelok that? I don't know. Not me. Unless he watches this game, which would be a miracle! So, thanks a lot for tuning in again. Sayonara. Oops. Sayonara!